Did you see Oops in the hut? We call the quail enclosure a hut now because Oops loves it. You having fun? Yeah. That's pretty nice. I'm glad. So, it's June now, somehow, and I figured I'd give a little tour. I saw there were flowers on the silver vine the other day, but I don't know if I still see them. There's a raspberry here. That's, oh, I think it's ripe. Yeah, that's ripe. And that one over there might be ripe too, but it's right by the gap, so I'll be able to reach it from that side. The male silver vine does have flowers. You can see them down there. And the hardy acai has little fruits already. So, let's see. This is going to be our big year for the lanternflies, so I have some concerns as to how that's going to go. I think I might be seeing effects of it in my fruits, but I'm not sure what is drying out the fruits and making them drop before they become fruit. For example, this apple tree had small apples in it, and now I don't see a single one, so it happens. Not sure why, but it does. We have been fighting the black knot. I went and I felt shy about it. I didn't want to bother her, but I did eventually tell the neighbor that her tree was spreading to my trees, and she cut the branches off of it. So, and probably put them in the trash, I don't know, but at any rate, that's done, I think. Still got to keep a hawk eye for it, because once there's black knot, it's everywhere. Oh, bye-bye. So we did just have a rain. It's like 3 or something in the afternoon. I slept in, I'm tired, I'm sore. It was Pride weekend. I found out 2 days beforehand. But I survived it. And I mean, there's still stuff today, but I'm thinking about going out to my uncle's again instead, because his phone's dead and I don't know as if he knows. I showed him how to charge it, but I don't know if he knows that's what's going on. It's his first ever cell phone, his first ever chargeable anything, the best I can figure. So he might not know. See how the house is doing. Because I think we got a lot of the sterilization done, but the next thing we're going to have to do is pull out the couches and deal with the mice nest behind there. Whoop, I hit my elbow. Sorry if that jostled the video. Yeah, so we got a bunch of raspberries and a reasonable little walkway here. The seeds for the sea kale are coming ripe again this year. I think the footprint of the sea kale is getting bigger, which is nice to see. The Miyoga ginger is doing so well that it's growing up out of the pathway here. So that's going to be interesting. I think it'll end up displacing some of this. This is my persimmon. I just heard a weird squeak. And I don't know what's up with that leaf, but the rest of it seems pretty healthy. Lots of ferns back in this corner. There's flowers all over the blackberry back here. We'll go this way. There were fruit on my gooseberry, but I don't see it now. There's flowers and small fruit on the blackberry and a bird in the tree eating Cherries? Yep, eating cherries. There were only a few on the cherry this year. It seems to have maybe possibly had, peach borers all along, and I'm just too stupid to realize, I guess. Look how well established the Illinois mulberry's going, finally. And I'm thinking I might put the tiny stunted plum there and the one that's actually growing decent here, because this one doesn't even have leaves. And I'm going to have to make them tree protectors. But since this one's only even tried to put out a fruit once and then got diseased, heavily diseased, I think I am going to dig it out finally. This is the one that showed the first signs of the black knot. And it showed it all the way down here. Eventually. Like, I had to cut it back so harshly because it was covered in rot. I'm getting strawberries here and there. I'm getting Saskatoons, but a lot of them are getting this. You see what I mean? Like, the fruit gets dried out on its way to going ripe. Sorry if that was really swimmy. You see them? And here's some right here in my finger. Like, that never went ripe. There's a couple ripe ones here, I think. So Saskatoons in deep shade ripen at red and ripen mild flavor. And you can tell they're ripe by how easy they come off. This one's only sort of ripe, but see, there you have it. So I'm wondering if, because this is going to be our big lanternfly year, if maybe that's the reason that this is happening to so much of the fruit, that I don't know what that is. I have neem, but I don't want to spray it on everything. I'm targeting the cherry tree here, my sour cherry tree here with the neem. But I don't want to spray it on everything. As you can see, I do have the sticky tapes. I think I need to refresh them. How often do you refresh your sticky tape when there's lantern flies coming in? And I don't know if I'm going to keep this here or move it. It's pretty big and it's going to get even bigger. And I can't remember what it's called, but it gets about 8-10 feet tall. I did get a few sweet cherries out of this, and they were delicious. And that's 2 years in a row of getting a handful. It looked like it was going to do a really good crop, and it wasn't frost this time. It was that the fruit dried out. And I don't know why. So this might be another one for me to target with neem, just my cherries, you know. But I think the native plums will slowly, even though I love cherries, and I'll probably keep the sweet cherry alive if it produces, then I think overall I'm going to transition to American plums. These are doing really well. Really, really well. They're sour. If a chipmunk doesn't take it, that might be my only apple this year. There's one in there. He fell off. But chipmunks are just as likely to take it, so we'll see. Yostaberry is doing fine. These, I think, are cuts that I made. The rest, no, I think that probably should have just squished it. I think that was a lantern fly on the tip of there. The rest are like deer and bunnies and stuff as far as like the damage. I did go through and pick the very ripe ones yesterday on the current by the way. I just ate them out of my hand. They're sour, but they're not like crazy sour. So yeah, since I have... you can see how busy I've been. I don't even have the cleavers managed. I usually get the cleavers real early in the year. Holy cow. So since I have a nanny berry here, I'm thinking about putting the small variety of the American plum here, and then digging out that like multi-stump plum over there and putting an American plum there. Now, does that mean I'm just continuing to feed the peach borers? Yeah, it does. It does. But on the other hand, I'm keeping cherries here anyway. So it's not like I'm going to stop feeding them regardless. And they're holding up pretty dang well at only this far from a peach borer infested cherry tree. So the American plums might be naturally resistant to that. But we'll find out. We'll find out. Yeah. So the American plums are planted right in here, and they are the small leaves. Yeah. We have May apples still coming back. I'm absolutely shocked by that. But, you know, they were going to get run over by the highway construction, so I was brave enough to try. This is that black currant that's called clove currant that's native to the central U.S. And ta-da. Still haven't planted in my skirt. I am lucky enough to have a pig hickory. Pig nut hickory. Seedling gets started. Look at that. And it's along with a mild thorns. It does have some thorns, but they're mild. Of the seeds from the water locust, black locust, water locust, the ones that are a little more thornless. And there's a couple more Yosta berries back here. Yeah, I was too overwhelmed when the asparagus was coming up, so you can see it's a hot mess. And then in here, I haven't really gotten in here either, but most of what you're looking at is jewelweed, and that stuff's both annual and incredibly fragile, so it's easy to just walk down the path and they'll just fall over in your presence. The raspberries there, I keep thinking they'll start to produce any day now, but I haven't seen any go ripen there yet. This specific hosta that I put in is doing really well. I don't know what happened to my other one. It happens, I guess. The mystery plant here is doing well, though. And I don't think that's a hosta. I think it's just a mystery plant. Sorry if that looked sideways. It's the only way I could get the camera in there. I dug this out again because it was stagnant through there and flooding the porch again. So keeping this open, hey baby, keeping that flow open is going to be really difficult. You ready to come in pretty soon? No, you goods. I said puppy's goods. Yeah. I said baby's goods. Yeah. We have that golden oyster mushroom coming up over and over again in here. Can kind of see a little bit of it right there. It might overtake the other ones. We'll see. We'll see. But I did get black oyster and blue oyster in the spring. The yellow oyster doesn't seem to care what time of year it is. We're starting to almost... Yeah, actually, that's the first bloom is right there of these milkweed. I've eaten a few. They might have bloomed slightly sooner if I hadn't eaten a few. And there also might be more in bloom right now, but several over here are getting close also. Oh, no, here's some. And some over there. So yeah, the milkweed's going bonkers, and I'm eating it. It's delicious. You have to cook it. You have to cook it, and if there's any bitter at all, spit it out. All right, because it can be dangerous. But certain varieties were also bred in for, see, that's a lanternfly. Can you see it? It dead now, but that's a lanternfly. That's what made them easier to catch last year, is they seem to really like the milkweed. I hope that's not making a bigger problem for the monarchs than already existed. Though I do think that the use of pesticides is a bigger problem than most other things. I think the irises are pretty much done. And I don't know when the next thing is gonna bloom. I mean, the clovers are in bloom. The Baptisia already finished blooming. Oh, the elderberry that didn't die down to the ground. I don't know why this elderberry did. But the ones in the back that didn't die down to the ground are in full bloom right now. I don't know if we'll get fruit because there's no cross-pollination of a variety of species, you know. Alder is the name of the plant that I keep meaning to remember. I have heart alder. My Kentucky coffee bean tree regreened up, which means it's a late greener, which means it's good for an ephemeral zone. Or the spring ephemeral, not like the water ephemeral. I've still got a relatively healthy thorn apple that I don't know what I'm going to do with. And I've got little tiny strawberries right there. Yep. That's how everything's going here at the cliffside. I'm tired. Can you tell? Oh, I had to dig up that thorny. I could have swore, and this has happened to me before, where I swear I ordered the thornless of something. It's been raspberry where I have them here now because I could have swore I ordered the thornless. And then the same thing happened with a refruiting blackberry. I could have swore I ordered the thornless. So I have a couple of potted up varieties here so that they don't spread. But initially I put it in the ground and it got its roots in pretty quick. So it took me a minute to realize that it was thorny because when they're young it's harder to tell. So that's what's going on here at the cliffside. I hope you're doing well. Yeah. I guess let me know if you got any questions or anything like that. I'll be happy to answer them or help. Oh, look, we're gonna get some of the sumac berries again. I should try and harvest some for spice. So I bet you they do the same thing like sumac berries do from Middle Eastern cooking. I bet you they would. I think you grind those for that. Anyways, I think I'm gonna try it. Because in general, all they get used for here. There goes a train. It's amidst all the trees that I need to get down there and trim. Yeah. All that I've seen people use it for here is lemonade. Like a form of lemonade. So we'll find out. There's my variegated inkberry pokeweed. I ended up with another one over here. I want one closer to the house because then I'll actually get around to, pardon me, I'm gummy. Then I'll actually get around to harvesting it, I think, and keep on top of the berries, not shifting it. There's a haphazard homestead video called Pokeweed that has a picture of the old Poke Salette canned goods in its cover art, and a woman next to a tall Poke Salette, like a very tall, mature Poke Salette plant. And that might be good for people to watch if they feel scared about pokeweed. Used to be the most sold canned good in the US. That's a pig nut hickory too. This is a black walnut. I need to recoppice a lot of things down here that I haven't gotten to. Oh good, see, those are male flowers. And these are female ones. I introduced the female because I only had male up here. And the female fruits at a short stature. But the fact that she's coming uphill instead of going downhill has made her a little tall. I'm gonna have to trim her again. She also sends out runners, and I keep having to put the shovel in and weed up her little runners where she's trying to continue to come into the yard, because they are thicketing, heavily thicketing plants. So, yep, that's the cliffside. I hope you're having a good one. Take care. Bye.